Are we are live. What is going on, everyone?
Good morning in Denver, Colorado. Good afternoon on the East Coast.
I got to mute. It's not popping. There we go.
How was everybody doing this morning?
Had to mute, guys. Hey, guys, hat backwards or forwards? Which way?
I like the Transformer logo, so I say forward, but you know.
That's Autobots. All right, we're Autobots. And we're off. What's up, Matt? Matt, Phoenix Flipper had a great live show yesterday. Enjoyed that, watching him getting his family involved in reselling and stuff like that. That was a fun show. That challenge that his family's doing, that's pretty amazing. I wish I could get my family to do that. I'd bring that idea to them, and they'd all just turn around and walk away, go back to their cell phones and their video games. I'm a bad parent.
Yeah, you know, Rev, I've kind of tried that. I take my wife sourcing with me, but half the cart ends up being stuff she buys for herself instead of to resell. So I've tried to get them to help, but yeah, it doesn't work.
Emily Conway, welcome. Thank you for joining. New sub here. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out my channel too. We'll be on there tomorrow. Rev Resale, the man, the myth, the legend, all of the above. Don't let him fool you. He is the man, the myth, and the legend. LL Larry Stash, ladies love Stash. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Emily had a question, so we're gonna hit that question first. We love the questions and the topics that you guys want to talk about. So make sure you hit us up in the chat. Give us something fun to talk about, or some good questions or bad questions. We don't care. Nate, every day I'm hustling. Sorry I was not there this morning. Just had a rough morning. My wife's home with a headache and stuff, and you can see I still got to go to the post office. So I'm just now getting up and moving. So just one of those days. But definitely check out Nate and Anthony in the mornings. I'm usually out 99% of the time I'm there. Just one of those days today. But thanks for joining, Nate. Killing it on the merch fulfilled.
Yeah, Anthony had a great live show, live premiere last night as well, with them doing a little bit of.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like he's like, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that video that Anthony did yesterday. They went out, hit some stores, did some retail arbitrage,
and he's literally like, yeah, I'm at the register buying this stuff, and I've already sold 4 of them. Like I haven't even paid for it yet. I've already sold 4. Come on, man, that's killing it. Pokey World in the house. So Pokey World, Tommy, he will be joining us tomorrow. We're going to be learning some Pokemon card stuff, some newer toy stuff. Haven't had a lot of conversation with him, but he reached out to me, said he wants to come on the show because he has a lot of Pokemon card knowledge. I feel like it's a good thing to try to learn, everyone. I want to learn more about it. I've sold some Pokemon cards. I don't know a ton about them, but I know we all see them. Our kids have them, stuff like that. Well, this is a point of view from a younger guy that knows a lot about them. So, and he can give us some good information. So he will be on the show with us tomorrow on my channel. Make sure you check that out. Thank you for joining, Tommy. Hip Flippin' Mama in the house. Fat Girl Sewing. I believe it's Wendy. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, so hey Jimmy, do you want to touch on Emily's question real quick?
Sorry, I just saw names popping in. I want to make sure I say hi to everyone. Rev is packing orders. Yeah, so go back to that question though. So I want to start off with this question. I would like to know about you. What you like, dislike, how long have you been in the reselling arena, etc. You going first, Frank?
No, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, but I've been doing I haven't shut up yet.
All right, I'll go first.
Man. This guy don't shut up.
So, what do I like and dislike? I like selling anything, Emily, that I can make money off of. The only thing I dislike is when I don't make a lot of money on something.
Right.
I hate to be so black and white with that answer, but literally my eBay room, I run the gamut. I sell everything from toys, video games, to hard goods, clothing. Surprisingly, I'm down. Remember at one point 2-3 weeks ago when we started this show, I was up to over 1,500 listings. I'm down to like 1,350 now because sales have not slowed down. I'm selling more than I'm listing right now. So that's the short and long of my question on what I like and dislike. I've been reselling since 2008, but it was massively scarce, Emily. It was like onesie, twosies a year kind of thing. But about a year and a half ago, this dude over here started opening his mouth, blabbing with his multi-level marketing, sell on eBay spiel that he gave me, and talked me into it. I literally thought it sounded like it was some, late night Anthony, or what is his name, Tony Robbins or whatever.
He still thinks it's legit. I haven't told him it's a pyramid scheme yet.
Yeah, I think 10% of my eBay fees are actually going to him. But yeah, so I've been going. So then I started a little bit heavier about a year and a half ago, and then in January of last year, I had a separation from my employer after 20 years and decided to dive headfirst full time after that, and I've been doing it ever since. So
listen, when you got this kind of physique, it's not easy to dive headfirst. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's a scary thing to do.
By the way, got a new Boys in the Hood shirt on profile today. Mama, I know you're in there in the chat. I will not be shaking my fingers. So just so you know. My brother Ray joined the chat. My daughter Samantha, she just started her YouTube channel yesterday. She's going to be doing all kinds of teenager doing stuff, in regards to homeschooling and all that stuff with everything going on. So she's going to have like a daily vlog of stuff she's doing to keep herself active. They're doing some dog walking stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'll let you take over, Jimmy. I got a little long-winded there. Now it's your turn.
Real quick, what's up, Petey? Thank you for joining. Raymond Dominguez. I've always called him Petey. I've known him just as long as I've known Frank, and he's always been Petey to me. Hope he doesn't mind me saying that, but I call him Petey. What's up? Sammy Ray's Unique New York Life. What's up, Sammy? What do I like? I mean, my favorite thing is toys. I love to sell toys. I buy toy collections from people. That's kind of what I've been doing up until now. I'm going to be looking into some distributor stuff in the future, but right now, like I scour Facebook Marketplace looking for toy collections that people are selling, try to work out a deal with them. Video games and video game collections, I do the same thing. So that's my favorite thing. That's what and then I love a pile of sales going out like this in the morning. I love that. That's stuff that I like. What do I dislike? I don't know. I dislike my video editor. It takes me forever to edit a video, and then it turns out terrible. No, I love another thing I love is YouTube. I love the YouTube reseller community, all these people in the chat and the people that were in the chat on Anthony and Nate's show. All those people are just so amazing. Hip Flip and Mama, everybody, Rev, all Phoenix Flipper, everybody. I mean, they're just they all just come together and help each other out so much. So that's definitely tops on my list for sure. I don't know. I dislike a lot of stuff. I just can't think of it right now.
Victoria, my favorite coffee drinking ladies in the house. Thank you for joining. Matt has another question for you, Jimmy. So I'm gonna pop that up on the screen right now.
All right. And then real quick, I've been reselling for a year and a half, but actually selling on eBay has been 2.5 years. I worked for a company. That's how I learned this. I took over the e-commerce for a company, a small company here in Colorado, sold for them for a year, did things for them that, people with degrees couldn't even do. I had amazing sales. I just got it. Like it just clicked. Understanding sales, and I was a mechanic before that, so go figure. So 2.5 years, year and a half as a reseller, and then about a year as a full-time reseller. So it's been fun, and it's been really good for me. I've done great. Matt wants to know what ways are you guys sourcing right now? Frank, you want to go first? Because my answer's short.
Yeah, mine might be just as short as you. Not really, to be honest with you right now. We've really, honestly, as much as I've been against it and pissed and moaned and complained about the you know, what do they call it, the lock in place, or what are they calling that, the way they're calling it? Anyways,
Yeah.
but we are doing what we're told. Generally just going to the grocery store for backup supplies for food and stuff like that. So I have not really been, I've not been doing any sourcing outside of my death pile I have sitting in my eBay room right now. So I did start trying to do so. I've looked on like shopgoodwill.com. So, that kind of stuff, maybe try that. But yeah, right now, I'm basically not doing any sourcing at this point.
Yeah, I'm checking Facebook Marketplace every day. I'm not sourcing. Like I'm just not. They say this is the 2 weeks that are coming up are the worst. So I'm literally just laying low for 2 weeks. So I am sourcing my house. I've sourced in my garage. I'm gonna start listing. Like I was selling video games in lots. I'm breaking those lots up and selling the games individually. Real quick, I noticed the best offer queen is in the house. Erin, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully she doesn't hate me after that debacle video. I've gotten actually decent reviews on it, but the editing was not the best. But it's just for fun. Land Shark, what's that?
LSP, Land Shark Pickers in the house. What is up,
Anthony? What's up,
right here?
Hitting that merch for Phil. I like the merch for Phil. What? Yeah, that was a great video yesterday, guys. So yeah, I'm not sourcing a lot. I'm just gonna hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel and wait till the other side of the curve, if you will. I did make a purchase right before the shutdown, and I have some stuff in my garage that's just been laying there. That stuff that is not worth a ton of money, not excited to list, that I still have to go through. So I know Frank worked through his death pile. How are you completely worked through your death pile?
No, to be honest with you, I've got a ton of death pile stuff to list. So I mean, I shouldn't say, let me rephrase that. I don't have a ton. I'm really trying to limit it to 5 to 7 items a day, just so it can kind of ride out the storm, if you will. But I definitely still have several days worth of listing to do. So I'm just really being real scarce about it, to be honest with you.
Rev just touched on it, and I was kind of touching on it when I saw some people come in the chat. Like, I had probably 5 or 6 lots of video games that I was selling, a big lot of video games, and I decided to take that lot down and then take pictures of all the games individually. I know Frank's done some of this, or Frank's done that way. Frank's done some of this as well. I've sold probably 10 games doing that, and I still have some to list. Like some of the lots I broke down, I still haven't even listed. I'll be working on those today. So if you have stuff like that, Matt Phoenix Flipper, man, he showed a tub full of video games, controllers, consoles. I'm like, man, that's the kind of death pile I wish I had right now, because I'm having to take bulk listings out. And none of the games in those lots are big sellers. Some of them went up in value, like that farm simulator that I sold. I got $15 or $17 or something like that for it. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff to be listing right now, guys. Definitely video games. Let's see, we got some questions and comments. I want to check them out. Yep. So Matt's already starting to list that stuff. That's good. I mean, video games are flying right now. I didn't move up in the criteria yet. Hey, that video was dynamite.
JJ Walker approves. Steven, my nephew, the thrift king of Gillette,
The thrift king of Gillette.
Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago. This is the thrift king of Gillette, Wyoming.
He might have the best hair in Gillette, Wyoming as well. Maybe, his son probably wins that.
Yeah, I agree.
You took yourself out. You were the top hair in Gillette, but then you brought your son, and now he's got the best hair. So
Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button on this video. Hit those sub buttons. Anybody, please feel free to put your channel link in the chat.
Thank you so much for subbing, Victoria. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to change my day. So I'm not going to do daily videos anymore. I'm going to go like 3 times a week. I'm going to post videos. And I'm just kind of going more for that whole vlog, kind of the stuff I'm doing throughout the day, not just running down what I'm selling. Early on, I just wanted to show what I was selling, but now I want to go more into what I do daily, because then when this is over, you will see a lot of collabs. Like, again, and me and Frank had done some collabs before, but like Nate and Anthony we're going to be doing collabs of sourcing and stuff. We're going to be out at state sales, yard sales together, putting videos out like that. So that's gonna, that's moving. That's why I want to start building it now. Just like kind of get a vlog of what I'm doing, how I ship, stuff like that. Give you an idea of how I store my items. I will be getting my basement soon. That'll be some fun times when I get a lot more room, and I have a basement, and I'll be sharing that on my vlog. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun moving forward.
So we talked earlier this weekend. You had a pretty good weekend in sales, right?
Yeah, I had Friday. Even some of the stuff wasn't even in the video because stuff sold late at night. Friday, I took 18 packages Saturday morning to the post office from Friday and Friday night, and then I got another 11 right here from Saturday and Sunday. So I hit close to 30 sales for the weekend, nice. Which is huge. Yeah, March was a bad month for me. A lot of people had a good March. My March was kind of slow. 39, yeah. Yeah, it was a good weekend. Great weekend. How those sports cards going? You still selling a lot of sports cards, Rev? I love watching those sports cards videos. Rev, I need to get with Rev because I know there's some of that stuff I know most of the 80s and 90s stuff isn't, but I have some 80s and 90s stuff I'm going to go through and list. He said there can be some value there, and again, it's stuff that I don't want. Like, I don't need a David Robinson rookie card. I mean, what is a David Robinson rookie card worth these days? I got one.
That would be what, about a 1989 Hoops, I think was the year that card came out. Digging deep back into the cobwebs of my brain.
I don't have a bunch of, most of the cards I have are rookies. Like, I have a Troy Aikman score rookie. I have stuff like that. So it's not like, commons or super cheap stuff, but I have some decent rookie cards that I saved up. I saved when I was collecting. Yeah, I had a Mercari sale too. Shout out #Vendu Crew. I need to make a little #Vendu Crew like Anthony has. I'm gonna make that. That was my 5th Mercari sale since I started, so not bad. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm revving those metal detectors, man. So how was your weekend?
So I had a total of 22 packages got picked up this morning, plus I think that's what I had total for the weekend, to be honest with you, because I meant to put out my order Saturday morning for my postal worker,
right?
And she decided to show up at my house at like 7:30, and she's usually not there till about 9, so I missed that one. So everything went out this morning. So it was 22 orders, but I've already got 6 today that I got to ship out so far.
I have 3. Oh, I got this Jerry Garcia hat. It's a pretty cool hat.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw your post on Instagram. That's a cool hat.
Yeah, I just sold that Jerry Garcia hat. Picked that up at a yard sale for 50 cents. Got over $20 for it. It's pretty cool. It's hemp. It's got the rainbow on the inside.
Smoke that if we wanted to.
Huh?
We could smoke that if we wanted to. Throw that in the fire pit. We'll all forget about social distancing. Throw that in the fire pit,
That's what I sold That's what I sold on Saturday and Sunday. This is a Pyrex bowl, a Pokemon card, 2 video games, bunch of toys. The rest are all toys. Oh, and then I sold Yeah, so I sold my first Bionicle from the Bionicle lot. Sold some shoes, and I sold a vintage Chewbacca plush from 1977. I used to do that. I can do Chewbacca's. Sorry, my nerd is showing. Let me put it back in.
You know, being
Dino
Hispanic,
Mac in the house. Angie resells.
Being Chicano, the only Chewy I knew was my cousin that was down.
Oh my God. Or the restaurant that made really bad burritos. the restaurant that gave you coco. Come on, do all.
No.
He don't want to do. He's too embarrassed. He go eat at Chewy's. He come back. He's like, oh, we got a problem.
Oh, manches.
Yeah. Who am I kidding? He's never ate. He won't eat there.
Actually, the one at the Westminster Promenade, I have eaten at that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you do after that?
It was a couple years ago, so I don't truly remember.
Yeah, where is our IT tech? Dan does work from home, so sometimes he can't make it in. He's a busy guy, engineering.
Dan, the IT man.
So he's a part-time IT guy.
The lowest paid IT man in the industry, folks.
Yeah, the lowest paid. Matter of fact, yeah, like he might be paying us.
When I tell him pro bono, I don't ask him if he's a fan of U2 or Sunny.
Right. Oh,
hey, Aaron, we're still, once this settles down, we will have an epic sourcing trip down to the Springs. You and I and Jimmy will slay some ARC thrift stores. That is definitely in the plan.
Or hopefully yard sales. Spring, you know what? Colorado Springs always has good auction sales too, or estate sales. Estate sales.
Yeah,
I always see good estate sales in the Springs. We will tell him, hey, from Phoenix, hey, Matt is from Phoenix, and we used to live in Phoenix. I lived in Mesa for 22 years. 20, yeah. So I lived in the Bay Area, Hayward, California, for 11 years as a child, and then I lived in Mesa for 22. And so since I'm only 30, I've only been in Colorado for that math don't even work. So yeah.
So you're 73.
He's like, let me check your math. Nope, you're wrong.
Hold on. You're 97 years old, Jimmy, just so you know.
I'm high risk.
Angie, I miss yard sales too.
Yeah.
I want to go yard selling so bad. That was mine and Jimmy's thing. My brother. Oh, it hurts.
Are we taking your brother to the Springs with us? He's asking what about.
I would love to, except for my brother is the executive chef at Red Rocks concert venue here in Denver. And I have a feeling once that thing opens back up, I might see him in October, maybe November. Bro, you could probably answer that better than me.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be buried, but obviously, if I can make it work, obviously, I love going sourcing with you, bro. So
that guy puts in a lot of hours, though. When it's open, there's I should check the treasure map. I got a lot.
I looked at it last night. There was a couple moving state sales.
I'll tell you right now, Matt, if on the other side of this, if it's, if we're into November and October and everything's are starting to clear up, I make a yearly trip to Arizona. I got family out there, brother. I got my wife's brothers out there, her mom's out there, and all my aunts and uncles and stuff are out there. I will be making a trip out there. I want to definitely meet up with you and hang out, and we could hit, whatever you like to do, we can check it out. I'll definitely be, it's usually a 4 or 5 day trip that I make. I do a sourcing trip. Part of my business plan for the year is making that trip. I was going to go in the spring this year, but with everything that happened, literally the week I was supposed to go was when places started closing stores and shutting down stores, before the total lockdown. So I canceled the trip just because I was supposed to go for sourcing, and I don't want to be up there and all the thrift stores are closed and whatnot. So, but yeah, I'll definitely hit you up when that time comes around. I'm not saying that. I just
we just prefer to go to Phoenix in November when it's 90 instead of 118.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go. We'll be sourcing here in June. I'm not going to go to Arizona, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about that their virus. I just hope that I hope that the curve downward. I don't want to flatten the curve. I want to get past the flat part and get to the downward part of the curve as soon as possible.
We're getting there. We've gone this far already, so it's right around the corner.
I'll tell you what, though, Aaron, I sourced Arizona last fall, and man, I scored some. I found one of the things I found in Arizona was while I was there was that it was a Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge Tour shirt from the 90s. I picked from 94, 95, I believe. I paid $1 for that shirt with a bunch of other Harley Davidson shirts, $1 each, and I sold that shirt for over $200. So I paid for the whole trip. I don't spend a lot while I'm there. I stay with family. It's 2 tanks of gas to get there. Like, it's not bad to get there. So, and I bought a lot of other good stuff while I was there too, but that was just like that was the cream of the crop of the stuff I bought there. Arizona is on, in estate sales as well. Arizona has some great sourcing opportunities. And me and Frank are going to try to make a trip out of it. I don't know. He's always got so much barbecue stuff going on, though. So there's your thing with Frank. Not this year, but usually Frank is, and it makes it hard for us to do some stuff on the weekends and make trips like that because he's got barbecue competitions lined up all summer and spring and fall. So it's kind of hard to get stuff together to make trips like that. But we try and we'll try. We're definitely going to make a trip to Pittsburgh. That's for sure.
Yes.
We are going to Pittsburgh. Going to try to find out about that football game, and hopefully that's a possibility. But we are making that trip.
Folks, I'm trying to keep up and dropping people's channels in the chat. So if I don't get you, please, by all means, add your channel to the chat.
Aaron, she does not want to be on camera. It's a thing. Like just the other day, that last video, I had to cut some of the video out because she don't want to be in the video. I don't know why. What do you say, Frank? Like, what's the saying?
We outkicked the coverage, both of us.
I outkicked the coverage on that, so I don't know why she don't want to be on camera, but she don't. So
yeah, we've overachieved, and like I said, we definitely because like I've always said, really I got a face for radio, so she definitely doesn't like to.
Hey.
That's right, bro. I forgot about Vic isn't back in Pittsburgh. Yeah, so Pete, I don't know if you saw our show the other day when we were talking with Nate and Anthony, but we are planning the Broncos play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. We don't know the date yet because the NFL has not released the schedule, but we are planning on a trip out to Pittsburgh.
Yes. And I hate to break it to you, LL Stash, but the Broncos are bringing the defense this year. Y'all better be ready for that Super Bowl type defense again. They made some great signings. They're going to be bringing it on the defensive side of the field this year. Be ready. That's all I'll say. They signed Jarrell Casey, AJ Bouye. Man, that defense is going to – and they already have, Von Miller. Chubb is coming back. It's going to be on this year. The Broncos are going to be a defensive powerhouse. That's all I'm
But more importantly, we are working on having the stash on our show at some point, either hopefully Larry this week or next week, or in the not too distant future. But Larry will be a guest on this show. The stash will be in all its glory on this show, folks. So
do you want to announce the other the big name guest that we're going to have later this week? I messaged you that's confirmed, right?
I did not, so I will let you do that since you put in the work on that, brother.
So on Thursday, same time that'll be my channel on Thursday. We will be having Ecom and Beyond, Anthony and Nate, Merch Fulfilled Kings. They will be joining us on our show to talk. We're going to talk a lot of Merch Fulfilled and what they're doing on there. You know, obviously talk some fishing, not bring the fish to you, but we'll talk some of the fishing and teach you how to fish, and you'll help us. They're helping us. They're teaching us how to fish right now. I cannot express enough how, you know, again, they're not bringing the fish to us at all, but they are teaching us how to fish. Frank's getting started on Amazon. You know, I've been on Amazon for a year, but they're helping me get to that next level that I want to get to. And we're going to talk a lot of stuff like that. And then obviously we'll talk I know some people might not like sports, but we're going to talk, you know, like we just did with Larry, we're going to talk Broncos, Steelers a little bit, just have a fun time. You guys have seen their show. Those guys are amazing. Funny guys. They like to have fun but they also, you know, that's what we modeled our show is have fun and joke, but also hit those topics and answer those questions you guys want to talk about.
So I just got to point out, my brother snuck one past me.
Uh-oh.
I got to get him for this. Where's his comment? I was going to put it up. So my brother legitimately has a friend named Vic, and his last name is Manella. I've met him, worked with him at Coors Field. I didn't notice this Sam part of his brother until my beautiful bride pointed out that his brother's name is Sam Manella.
Oh, gosh.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Show's over. Petey shut us down with the mic drop.
And as you can see, he is on one today because he said, I hope my fishing on Amazon is better than my actual fishing.
Hey, man, we need to fish on Amazon like I did when I was in Minnesota. I was just, I got tired, man. I was like, can we stop the boat for a second? Good night.
Aaron,
What's up, Sonny? Las Vegas Thrifts in the house. Sonny's a great guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you check it out. Add a link, Sonny. This guy, in so many ways, he's awesome. You know, he's doing stuff I've talked about before behind the scenes on Instagram and stuff like that I'm learning. And it's not behind the scenes, but it's not in the show. But he's literally promoting our show on Instagram while we're live and stuff like that. He's just an awesome dude, and he's got a lot of great information, a lot of good information on YouTube. Check out his channel for sure. If you don't mind putting the link in there, or anybody want to put the link to his channel on there, do it. Awesome dude. Sonny's awesome. Fishing. No, Red Lake, man. I'm up at Red Lake. Look it up. Red Lake, Minnesota. Killing it.
Hey, I can't help it if my fish say Gorton's Fisherman on the side of the package.
Understand. They're in a box. I was fishing in the frozen food section. Shots fired. That ain't even right. Everybody look it up. Red Lake, Minnesota. I ain't lying. It's one of the biggest. It's the biggest. What's the word?
Man-made?
No.
Or natural? No.
Other than the Great Lakes, it's the biggest lake in Minnesota.
Boy, Erin's spicy today.
Right? That's messed up. So what if Frank's the only one I know that's fished at a hatchery. Didn't you fish at a hatchery once?
Well, it's not. Oh, yeah, actually, I did. It's not necessarily a hatchery
per se.
But this guy has a private lake that he is like grossly overstocked with fish, and it's fish in a barrel, baby.
No,
Barry said the fish are in the box.
yeah, the fish are in the box. Fish sticks. I don't even buy the good stuff. It's the cheap Walmart brand, great value fish sticks. Yeah, they do. Yeah, Safeway does have a great fish department. Aaron, matter of fact, I might go there after this show, even though I don't like fish. All the fish I catch, I have to give away. I even gut them and clean them and all that, and then I'm like, here you go. I did all the work.
See, my wife is on it today. Look at that. She knew what they were called. Thank you, baby. The stocked ponds. They're fun, dude. I mean, it's
crazy about that Red Lake up in Minnesota. So my wife's dad he owns he has a little property right there on Red Lake up there. And that lake is huge. Like, it looks like the ocean when you pull up to it. But we went out, I want to say we went out onto the lake. We're probably out there 700 yards, like way, 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 way out there. And the water is only 6 feet deep. It's like you can look in the water, and the water has a red tint to it. That's why it's called Red Lake. I don't know what caused it.
So a 3-hour tour?
But yeah, to be out there that far and you can still see the bottom of the lake, can still see the bottom of the water, is crazy. I like a fish fry. That's about the only beer battered fish fry is about the only way I can eat, with some tartar sauce. That's about the only way I can eat fish.
With a baked potato?
A baked potato?
You said baked potato? Hey, you know who else is eerily absent today? Is your brother. Where's he at today, Jimmy?
So Joseph, so they started his online classes. So my brother is a college professor of sociology. So he's been doing a lot of online, and so with his students not doing online stuff before, he's been having to he's teaching them how to, he's not even teaching them sociology anymore. He's teaching them how to set up their online classes and stuff. So he's doing a lot of stuff. He's been busy. He said this week, towards the end of the week, it'll probably be a little bit better, but right now he's really busy.
Yeah, so I got a weird one for you.
I gotta clear off my desk. I played with the stuff on my desk the whole time along.
So Samantha started her online schooling this morning. So
yeah,
she gets to earn her PE grade. So they gave her the list of the things to do to earn her PE grade.
Was walking the dogs one of them?
Literally 90% of them are things that you shouldn't do because we're quarantined. It was like, get a group of friends and play Red Rover.
Dude, your hand is literally touching their head, Doug.
Dude, I about died laughing when I read the list last night.
Now, mind you, when you hit them, make sure you cross their face. Hey-o.
I think they wanted him to play head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Just keep touching every part of. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that's terrible. These are the people that are teaching our kids.
Yes,
I don't like. I mean, it's whatever. I know that everybody's struggling, but I'm like, really, like it's literally, here's a bunch of work, do it. Well, and I asked, well, where's the teaching though? Like, that's not. I know you guys are struggling like we are, but that's not teaching. Like, just throwing a bunch of work in my kid's lap, he's not learning anything new. It's all stuff that he already knows. It's just like, we don't want you sitting at home doing nothing, so here's work. Like, yeah, but we need some teaching. Where's the pre-recorded lessons and stuff? Maybe that's in the future. I don't know.
Yeah. Ironically, one of the other items that they listed on that list, besides like Red Rover and hide and seek and all these other, TikTok. They said to make TikTok videos.
That's learning right there.
Kind of
social media. Hey, that's what we need to learn.
All right. So
hide and don't seek. Hide and don't seek. Social distancing tag.
I guess I could. You can play hide and go seek by yourself. So I got a weird one for you.
Hide and go seek champion. Hey, I saw that. read along Barney book finally. That took forever.
Did you?
Yeah.
Those are ones-
What did we pay $2 for those?
yeah, I think so.
$2.
You know, a couple of those, I got over $50 for a couple of those.
These do good though. I sold the other one pretty quick. This one I just probably had. So you see, I ran a sale on it and it sold. So I probably had it priced a little too high, but I ran a sale on it and it sold. So, bam. I've never done a TikTok video. I've seen a couple. Not for me, I don't think.
I'll admit, I kind of like that. Some of the stuff my daughter finds on that is crazy. Some of the stuff, so I actually kind of like that TikTok thing.
So Sonny made a good point. Can you put that one up there? And it's so weird that we're in a day and age where the conversation does have to be brought up to make sure that every household has access to high-speed internet. And I never thought that, like I go back to when I was, like it was a luxury to have high-speed internet, but now it's almost like broadcast TV. Like it's something that every household needs to have. Like I don't want to use the word need, but it's really close to that where every household should have it and should have options for free or discounted high-speed internet. I agree, Sonny. I agree totally. Like, I know in Denver, like they were handing out MacBooks to some of the lower income schools, like were buying, or the ones they had in school, MacBooks to these families. But then the question is, do they have internet? Not everybody has high-speed internet, and it's definitely a sense, a hot topic and a topic that. But I feel like it would be more important to have that than broadcast digital TV. There's more news on there. There's more information on there. Schooling can be done that way. You can work that way. It's definitely an interesting topic for sure. But Sonny hit a good point there. I love trying to say this name, Pearlnini. Is it Pearlnini or Nai? What is up? Every time I see that name, I'm like, I hope I'm saying it right. Pearlnini. It's a cool name either way. Maybe try to help me out in the chat. I'm not trying to be. Every time it's either Nai or I think. How would you say that, Frank? How do you say it? Nini?
Pearlnini.
That's what I think too. Like if it's Pearlnini, type in like the word Knee. Or if it's Nai, then I'll do an N and then an I, I-E-Y-E.
She prefers Lynn.
Okay.
Make it easier on both of us.
Right? Just shut me up and say, call me Lynn. Hey, I can relate to that, Sonny. Me and Frank can both relate to that. We couldn't even, like, what's that joke? We couldn't even afford the OR. We were just Poe.
Yeah, or I was so broke I couldn't pay attention.
What's up, Marie? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Lynn, thank you for getting me to make a joke out of it. I actually think it's a really cool name. I just have this battle in my head on how to say it, and I'm terrible with names anyway. So my 2 high school boys are loving this online learning. They spend 2 hours a day on schoolwork instead of going to school for 8 hours. Yeah. I only have 1 kid in school. My other one already graduated. Frank's the same way. So it's not that bad, but he spends a lot of time, like you said, he's playing a lot of video games and chatting with his friends in group chats and stuff. So it's fine. It's like when you're 16, you want to hang out with your friends more. Like when I tell him, no, sorry, for now you can't hang out with your friends. Like he's going crazy. So
No Money G, what's up?
No Money G. As Anthony would say, G, you nerd.
Hey, so my brother, who's again on fire today, Jimmy, were we not the trendsetters that started the homeschooling thing back in the day? We were. Yes, Aaron, I agree. This is awesome, guys. Thank you for the love. We had 24 people in the chat already this morning. Hit that like button. Hit those subs buttons on everybody else's channels. I don't have Dan, the IT man, putting those links for me. So if anybody else would like to take that job, it pays very poorly. Please welcome to it.
Yeah, me and Frank kind of had this. Give Sonny give out some wrenches, man. We got some people in here that deserve wrenches. We're on your channel, right? I'm lost.
Yeah.
I was trying to do my own way. Me and Frank kind of had this thing, we kind of beat this drum, and we just get, if you like what you're watching, or I can tell you everybody in this chat has a good channel. Go sub their channels, guys. Like, give those subs out. I love, I sub everybody I can. I'm not stingy with my subs. I want to promote all these creators and all these resellers. We all kind of have the same, goals, thoughts. For the most part, we're building our businesses the same. Whether different might be different inventory and stuff like that, but we're all kind of just doing the same thing. You can find out so much good information from these people. I said, like Phoenix Flipper Matt, I learned how to make a new box the other day. I had never made that box. I didn't even know about that little hack. Watched his video. Boom! I'm making that box for a toy like 2 days later. So I just think it's worth it, guys, to use those subs and sub up as many people as you can. Sorry, Frank.
My cousin Erica, she lives in Austin. She's saying that her local internet company is actually helping families to get them free internet. So that is awesome. Cool. Happy to hear that, Erica, because again, this is our time for America to, kind of like 9/11. It's our time to rise and shine and help each other out. That's cool to hear that.
Erin's on a roll today too. You need to give her some credit on the roll she's on. I heard the pay is not well. Ask Dan, he'll tell you.
Yeah, Aaron, I told you the pay is horrible, but it's the benefits that getting to hang out with two cool guys like us.
That wears some cool hats.
Yeah, he's got a Decepticon.
Yeah, you're gonna get ripped for that one. Here, I'll help you.
Oh, that's Autobots. I just call it Transformers. I just named the franchise.
Yeah. that Decepticon Megatron.
Yeah,
will work for coffee. I don't drink coffee, Sonny. I used to drink energy drinks. Now I just drink
Rockstar Mastered.
Not anymore. I haven't had one in like 3 months. What do I drink? I drink water, and I've been drinking Pepsi Zero. Yeah, we're negotiating the pay scale with Dan.
Apparently, that non-paycheck he was receiving from us was not suffice for him, Erica. So
that blank check, that non-paycheck bounced.
he called into work today.
He called. Oh shoot! He's a. Yeah, I know. I know. I stopped drinking it. It got to an addiction. I'm not. I don't have a very addictive personality, but I was definitely addicted to Rockstars. It was like, for the first week not drinking them, like I was like craving them so bad. And I was like, this has to be addiction, because like I want to go buy a Rockstar right now. Like for the first week, I was like, I wanted to go get one. But it's been like 3 months now, so I won't go back to them because I know how that addiction part of it feels. Like, whoa.
I wanted you to feel how it felt when you were drinking them Rockstars all day.
Yeah, plus, as you can see by my this physique, I probably shouldn't be drinking them.
You were
my blood type was Rockstar for a while.
Yeah, I remember there was a few times when we'd go out sourcing where, man, you'd have like an open Rockstar and a sealed one for the day, and I'm like, and don't get me wrong, I would drink them too every once in a while. So, my addiction is soda. I have another one.
Come on, Dino, look at these mugs. These are faces for not even radio. They're so bad. But we decided, what the heck?
This face would make a train take a dirt road, okay?
I mean, on one of my videos, we had our first hater, our first bully. I'm going to tell the amazing joke that this guy said. You guys ready for this? Trust me, I've never heard this in my life before. Like, when I heard this, I was like, this guy is a jokester. Like, how did he think of this joke? You ready for this one? He said, I'd hate to be working at a buffet when you two walk in. That's a good one. Never heard that before. Oh my gosh. I was just like, you have literally, and at that point, I maybe had like 50 or 60 subscribers. Like, you literally had nothing better to do than come up with that great joke. Yeah, but I literally did not bother me all, except for I was like, oh, that's a good one, buddy. You're real quick there. I wonder if he wrote it down before.
Yeah,
let's write down a couple good ones, guys. And he was like, it was a troll because he had like 4 other people that came in and joked around too and hit the dislike button. I was just like, I just pitched a couple. We got to think of a good one. Look at these 2 guys. Let's think of what do fat people do? But anyways, I went on a little tangent. Is that the
Sonny, I love Big Red soda, by the way.
Yes.
What soda I like? I'm Coke or Pepsi. I'm very basic. And I do like good Mountain Dew every once in a while.
Burp.
But I like all soda. I'm a soda junkie. I don't like to drink much unless we're having an epic Dominguez Halloween or New Year's Eve party.
As long as I'm not around, he'll drink. When I'm around, he's like, I hear all these stories of these epic drinking parties that he's been involved in. I'm like, oh, I wasn't there. Just
Aaron, you're tugging at our heartstrings here because I could go for a good buffet right about now.
They're all closed, damn it. I should be down about 50 pounds.
I'm like on This Is the End. I'm gaining weight right now.
Wait.
Uh-oh. Lynn went coco no after she went to the.
It takes a while to build that steel barrier, that steel stomach barrier before it. So it doesn't. That's funny. Well, yeah, I mean, we go up to we have a casino town up here in Colorado, up in the mountains, Black Hawk, and they have some pretty epic buffets up there. I don't eat seafood, but this guy right here, he'll go up there and he'll slay some seafood up there.
Now, full disclosure, somebody's wife destroys the crab legs right along with me. So, and the oysters and shrimp and yeah.
Yes. And I'm just sitting there. So I'm gonna go to Frank's probably gonna hate me for this one, but like he takes a bunch of crab legs, right, and he cracks them all open and he does all this work and he makes just this giant pile of, after he doesn't eat them one at a time. Like he cracks them open and he starts making this pile and he pours some butter over the top of it. And I'm just like
you gotta have about three.
He's like a happy kid on Christmas morning. He's got his fork out and his own. And I'm just like,
or let's be honest, a fat guy at a buffet.
Fat guy at a buffet. There you go. I didn't want to go there, all right? I'm not a bully, all right? I didn't know. That says, boys.
Mama's still in her. The other day she was shaking her chi-chis on Nate and Anthony's show. Yeah, I like crab with my butter, to be honest with you.
What's that? Jim Gaffigan tells that joke. He's like, I made them look like aliens, and I put them on the bottom of the ocean. So this is God speaking. I don't know what to do. I made them look like aliens. I put them on the bottom of the ocean, and they're still eating them.
And then he's all, Christ, I named them after an STD, and they're still eating them.
I agree with Jim Gaffigan. Oh gosh,
Of course, everything tastes better when you have 4 sticks of butter.
he's all, I like butter too.
I don't know about anybody out there else, but I love Jim Gaffigan. He makes me freaking laugh.
Gaffigan's here. Him and Brian Regan are two. If you guys haven't checked, Brian Regan will have you. I almost killed Frank with a Brian Regan skit the other day. It almost killed us all because we were driving, and I told him to play it on the radio. He stopped, he stopped breathing, laughing while we were driving. I was like, we're all gonna die.
Which is even worse because I'm always the one driving, so it's never good for the driver to be half unconscious from laughing so hard that you stop breathing.
Right. And see, we're talking reselling because that was a reselling sourcing trip when I almost killed us all.
Yes.
So we might go way off topic from time to time. That reminds me of a funny story I had with my mom one time. Me and my mom used to carpool to work back when we lived in Arizona, and I always drove, and I started making her laugh. And she started laughing so hard, when you start laughing so hard you can't breathe. Next thing I know, I look over, she's like this. She passed out from laughing. I had to pull the car over. I'm like, Mom. She woke up. So I'm not. She's like, don't ever make me laugh that hard again. She's like, that shit was funny. I just looked over. She's like, just in the seat, just swaying. So let's try to get back on a topic. Do you guys have any questions in the chat? Any topics you want to talk about? I started the whole buffet talk. I mean, I'll talk buffet. We could change this to Mile High Buffet. Mile High Buffet Hunters.
Yeah, Mile High Buffet Hunters. Hey, go to the one off of 58th and
this channel. 2 years from now, this channel's a buffet review channel. Me and you are each pushing 800 pounds.
The camera angles will be like this. So after I left the 600-pound life,
I gotta.
Aaron, now you got me hankering for a hero hoagie sandwich. Now that we're talking about subs, I could use a sub sandwich too.
The wide angle is gonna look like this. It's a wide angle, guys. Oh my gosh, that's too
Hold on.
I stopped breathing. Did you guys see that? We might.
I'm a method actor, so
I know what he's about to do.
I'm a method actor, so one moment, folks.
I already know where he's about to go with this.
So
you gotta be careful how you joke like that. I just got a glimpse into the future. Oh my god!
All right, all kidding aside, though. Hey, look who just dropped in. He decided to show up for work.
Mile High Buffet Crushers, my 800-pound life. That's the new channel. What is up, IT Dan? Best Offer Queen wants to thank you. Dan is in the house. You can thank him in kind of person. I gotta be right back. I will be right back.
So I do have a question for Uncle B when he gets back on for something I had happen to me this Friday on eBay. On eBay, I got a message from eBay that they pulled one of my listings for price gouging. And I will freely admit it was some diapers that I had listed on eBay. I had them listed high. The funny thing about it is I had them listed for 3 months prior to this whole COVID thing. I never changed the price, never did anything like that. They were just a listing I did several months back. And somehow it finally trickled down to where they caught up. I shouldn't say caught up to it because I wasn't trying to. They were old vintage diapers that I was selling. And they pulled them for price gouging. So, and no, they didn't have skid marks, Aaron. That's the thing about them is they were still somewhat clean. They were a little soiled, but, not too bad. Flipping goodies. what's going on. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting that they pulled my ad. Obviously, they sent in the email stating that the item was pulled. So Jimmy, real quick, I was talking about our conversation we had on Friday that they pulled my listing on Friday for allegedly price gouging because I had some old vintage diapers listed, and eBay pulled my listing.
Weird.
You haven't run into any of that yet?
I've never heard of that. I've never had that. Yeah, I have some diapers listed. I haven't had any issues. They're still listed. Yeah, and that's so right, Marie. Like that happens, and you know, it's why some people have listings. Like if you ever tried listing video games on variations, and I see it all the time. People are listing video game variations all the time, which is against eBay's policy. But it's not until there's so many of them. It's usually not until someone reports that seller, and then once you get reported, they take it down. And I just wonder if that's what happened with yours, because eBay's not like, I don't know.
Yeah,
eBay's not on top of a lot of things. I'll just say that. Like eBay's always way behind on stuff like that. I guess eBay doesn't like when, but they're always trying to keep it. But there's always so many people listing diapers every day. Think about how many people list diapers every day. Like to keep up with that is impossible for them, and it just makes me wonder if someone reported you, like Marie said, they reported you a price gouging, even though you're not. Like you can't find those vintage diapers on a shelf anywhere else, so it's not price gouging.
Yeah, I mean, Matt from Part Time Picker's been selling vintage diapers for.
Yep, I agree with.
As long as I've been watching him, But again, I wasn't upset about it because again, I understand with the current climate. If this was in August of last year, my immediate instinct would have been to call EBA or eBay concierge and EBA.
He's so into FBA and FBM. He's calling
FBA, EBA, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you though.
Again, I wasn't worked up about it. It's one listing out of 1,300 and some that I have.
Yeah, but
if it was like my bread and butter and I was selling these by the dozens,
right,
I'd be upset.
That's what happened with video games. So I knew about variations from when I worked for that company. And so I knew video games were probably questionable being allowed to do it. But if you go on eBay right now and you search like a PS3 game, I guarantee you'll look at least 15 to 20 different people that have variations listed with that game in the list. So I started selling video games on variations listings. And I was selling, because I had stacks and stacks of video games that I bought. And I was selling 2 or 3 games a day on that variations listing. And then someone reported me, and they took it down, gave me a matter of fact. Remember that I got like a 3-day suspension from listing and all that. And so I haven't listed them that way ever since. But my video game sales are down because those variations for video games work way better than selling games individually. I was selling way more games on variations. Time, Jimmy? Huh? Yeah, exactly. They gave me a timeout, and I was like, that was when I was still kind of new, and I was still learning how to be a reseller, and it sucked not being able to list for 3 days.
So my wife asked the question: did they give me the opportunity to relist them at a acceptable price, if you will, or whatever? The answer is no, babe. What they told me, babe, I mean my wife, not you, Jimmy. I only call you babe when I'm about to crush or you call me babe when I crush my hand in a trailer. But but what the email stated clear as day: do not relist this item. Period.
And you'll get a slap on the wrist. They won't allow you to list. So if nobody's ever happened, the first step is usually, except for some of the Vero stuff, but usually stuff like this, the first thing is though they won't allow you to list for like, and that's Vero too, but Vero usually don't get a warning. It's straight to being grounded where they say you can't list for 7 days. So all your stuff is still listed, but you just can't list anything new for 7 days. Mine was only 3 days though. That was weird.
Yeah, and so to give some people some clarity when we're talking about these diapers, I don't know if everybody is familiar. Vintage diapers sell for crazy money on eBay.
It doesn't even have to be vintage though. Like it could be from 2002, and it's from the like. So for example, I think I have some for 2004 that are from the movie Cars or some year like that. I don't remember when Cars came out, but it's in the 2000s. It's when the movie Cars came out. That so if you can find from a popular cartoon or Disney show or whatever, or and it has the diapers have pictures of those characters on it, they sell really well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be vintage.
But yeah, like
helps.
But yeah, like the vintage Pampers boxes from back in the day, the early 90s, mid 90s sell for crazy money.
Yeah,
Watch it.
Really good.
But yeah, and like you said, it could be as long as it's a franchise like Blue's Clues, Cars, Mickey, all that stuff. They sell for really good money on eBay. So that's why I had these listed. It wasn't that I'm technically price gouging. What was my wife saying here? Yeah, there's a lady selling face masks for $25. Unfortunately, everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie. I get it. My listing was from several months back. It wasn't like
you weren't trying. Yeah, like my diapers have been listed before this started too. Yeah. It's the whole, it's against the law when states are in a state of emergency or declared a disaster or whatever. You're not allowed. It's against the law to raise prices. I always do this. Everything's a quote to me.
You're like, I know you. You're Joey from Friends.
I'm gonna tie my hands. All right, so so I guess since eBay and Amazon sell to all the states that are now in declared emergencies or whatever, it's against the law to price gouge, from what I understand. And so eBay and Amazon have to stop people from doing that because people are selling on their platforms illegally. That's the way I understand it.
Yeah, no money. Gee, I agree. It's just the category again, and I want everybody to understand. I'm not upset about or worried about it. I just, unfortunately, with them not having customer service to where I can call anybody right now to explain, that's what makes it tough. So, but I also wanted to put that out to forewarn anybody that might have any diapers in their death piles to list. Be cautious listing them because you don't want to get your store shut down or put in detention for. So, Aaron, they don't make like themed diapers anymore. Is that what I'm understanding? I'll be honest with you, my youngest is 16. So,
well, no, you can't get Cars. You can't get a Cars movie diaper that easy now because Cars isn't popular right now.
Gotcha.
You can find a PJ Masks or a what's the one that your nephew likes? The with the animals.
Paw Patrol
diapers you can probably find. But Cars hasn't been popular for a couple years now since Cars 2 came out. No Money made a good point up there. They're going after the category so much, so then them being vintage collectible, that's why. So like it's just the category. They're not paying attention like if it's vintage or collectible.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't. So they see how much is I don't know. Aaron, how much does a normal package of diapers cost these days? I don't know. I know it's still expensive, but I'm asking like $13 for 5 diapers right now, which is a markup or price gouging. But I'm asking that much because mine are vintage or collectible. I did it again. Collectible.
Dr. Evil.
Guys, I'm just gonna keep my hands right here the whole time, and then if I have something that I want in quotation, I can just do this. Damn it! It's like a mental block that I have. I told myself just now, don't do that anymore, and I'm doing it.
Yeah, my wife asked, after this is over, will I be able to relist them? I'm sure I will be able to. I'll just call eBay Concierge once they reopen, explain it to them, and they'll mark that listing so it doesn't get, if a flag comes up to it again later, it'll already be kind of taken care of.
So again, I think it's going to have to do with when a state is when all the states are no longer in what's declaration of, I was going to do it, declaration of emergency or whatever they did, the states will have to, all states will no longer be that for them to, and that's when it would be considered over. Because, when the first state declared an emergency is when they had, Amazon had and eBay had to act because they sell to that state and their sellers sell to that state. So that was the first time a state did, which was was it Washington State? Weren't they the first one?
Yeah, I believe it was Washington or California. I can't remember. May have even been Chicago or Illinois.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just remember once a state did it is when this stuff all started becoming a topic. Yeah, see, so you can get 32 diapers for $10, and I'm selling 5 diapers for $13 or $14. So
yeah,
that would be considered gouging, I guess. So Maurice, you're in Washington, right? If I remember right, she said Washington was the first. So that's crazy. Yeah, Washington, then New York, then California. Yep. Yeah. So I just remember Washington declaring that, and that's when this all dropped. That's when Amazon had to start, and Amazon was the big news, especially within this community, because a lot of people rely on Amazon, and a lot of people were price gouging on Amazon. And so within the community, I remember that being a big deal. I got you that too. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so yeah, that sucks. But I mean, like you said, it's not gonna break you. You'll just wait it out. It'll, on the other side of the curve.
Well, back in my day, we used to use cloth diapers. Whippersnappers.
You little whippersnappers.
Yeah, my 2 little nephews. It's Mickey for SJ and Paw Patrol. Damn autocorrect, baby. Yep, and then the Attorney General, started going after individuals. Everybody knows the story about the guys in Tennessee that tried to take advantage of it with the hand sanitizer.
Well, what about all the YouTubers? There was a bunch of YouTubers that did videos on how to price gouge. And so they were giving out this information. Wonder why obviously they were just giving out the information. When this first went on, there was about 3 or 4 videos I watched where people were, without saying the words, they were teaching you how to price gouge. They were going and buying masks and hand sanitizer and then showing you how to sell it.
And I'll say this though, Jimmy, and I'm gonna steal from your playbook real quick. That's the American way, right? This isn't nothing new. I'd say the same thing. It was back when they were when 9/11 happened, and I remember my wife and I going to the local flea market to just go for a day to get out in the air and sun and go for a walk. And every other person was selling some sort of 9/11 t-shirts and hats, and American flags were selling for way more than normal price in it. So this is nothing new. Look at the people, and I told you about it, Jimmy, right after the unfortunate passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the other passengers in that helicopter.
Right.
And I had told you we had went to the flea market that weekend, the following weekend, and I had told you that there were people selling Kobe shirts and making money off of a tragedy. Right. So again, this is nothing new.
Well, that's why these things
I'm happy to hear. I'm just happy to hear that companies and the government are shutting these people down, because this is not a time to profit off of other people's misery and death. I'm sorry.
Now, there's legit ways to do it. Do it legit. E-commerce has been the way to shop right now, and you can do it without gouging. You can do it legit. And you're helping people out at the same time. So, you can make a lot of money. I'll look at, Nate and Anthony. They're not screwing anybody over, and they're doing great on Amazon and stuff.
Dan.
You can sew 2 together. Come on, Dan.
I'm gonna do 3
or 4. Yeah,
definitely
1 per cheek in the back.
And you got that double bubble, so
I got, yeah, Erica was asking some questions about the, I don't know everything about, especially on, I don't know that there's definitely some kind of scale that they have to be doing. And these kind of measures have been in effect for a long time, because you think about the states that have hurricanes and earthquakes and stuff like that. So the it's already in writing, and there's definitely places that have already had to use these kind of rules. It's just never been on this scale. So I remember when I worked for the company I worked for selling online, we sold power equipment, and one of the things we sold was generators. And we had a guy buy every single, so a hurricane, when that big hurricane hit Florida and Puerto Rico a couple, 3 or 4 years ago, he came and he literally, I'm not lying, guys, he bought every single smaller generator that we had. He didn't buy the big giant ones, but every smaller generator, he loaded them onto a truck headed for Florida. And that guy, he was selling them out of the back of a truck, price gouging, and that guy made a ton of money, and he caused us a lot of problems because our generator sucked. We had people calling us from Puerto Rico. We got so many calls from Puerto Rico. We had to hire a temporary person that spoke Spanish to help us with the calls coming in from Puerto Rico, because we had so many, because our generators were made for camping, weekend warriors. These people were running the generators 24/7. Yeah, anyway, so it was a nightmare. But he put them on a boat to Puerto Rico, and he sold, oh man, he made so much money off those generators, and we had no generators in stock after that. It's crazy. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, it was No Money G was saying that they were saying, people think us resellers are the scum of the earth right now.
Yep, that's not true. Yeah.
Eric,
No Money G, that's
true. I'm throwing you a wrench, brother. So, is there any relation to the Eric Bischoff, former president of WCW? I just noticed the name, the spelling, everything's the same. Just curious. I'm a huge wrestling fanatic, so.
No Money G, I mean, it's essential, right? Like what the FBM right now, Fulfilled by Merchant, is just as essential as me going by and seeing H&R Block open the other day. Or, it's definitely an essential, people providing stuff that you can buy online. A lot of people don't, a lot of, especially, the older community, they don't want to leave the house. They definitely don't want to leave the house. The Bargain Effect, Tommy 2.0, what is up? Thank you for joining us. Give that man a wrench.
Dropping it right now. Hey, guys, and I'm like Oprah. Everybody gets a wrench. You get a wrench. You get a wrench.
Just make sure you abuse it, too. Add as many links as you want. Biodomes. Am I? I don't know. Is this from Bio? I've never seen Biodome.
Was Biodome? Which one was? I know the movie. Is that
Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore.
And who's the guy? I don't know. Who's the other actor that's with him?
Was it Brendan Fraser?
I know they're in Encino Man together. I don't know if they're in Biodome together.
Encino Man's the one I'm thinking.
How do we know all the bad movies?
Right.
They're all
another one of my
Baldwin brothers. That's right, No Money G. It was a Baldwin brother. Which one? Trivia question of the day, because I have no idea.
Was it Alec or
Bobby or whatever? That's a great movie. Now that's a great. I've never seen Biodome though.
I've never seen Encino Man or Biodome for that fact. Hey, Matt Philly Flipper Mike, because am I not mistaken, Biodome is based after the dome they built outside of Tucson, where those scientists were going to live for like 2 or 3 years in a dome with growing their own food and animals and all that.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like a total failure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember we were living there when they did that, right? Were you living there when they did that?
They were building it and getting ready to launch it when I moved back to. So I lived in some clarification. I was born in Denver in 76. Yes, I'm old. Moved to Arizona in 84.
Wow,
Thanksgiving Day, 1984.
I didn't realize you lived there that long. You lived there a long time then.
So Denver to Phoenix from 76 to 84. Thanksgiving Day of 84, we moved to Phoenix. We moved back to Denver Thanksgiving Day, 1992. Don't know what my mom and dad's obsession was with moving out of state on Thanksgiving Day, but then I've been back ever since, with the exception of a 2-year stint in Arizona back in 2006 again.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not as old as that guy. I'm so glad I'm not as old as him. He's got me by at least 3 months.
3 solid months.
3 solid months.
Man, Aaron, Dan, and my brother Ray are feisty this morning.
Yeah, right. And see, I miss Dan in Arizona because I was moving from California to Arizona in 87, I believe. But it was summer of 87. And obviously I didn't know you guys back then, but we were moving from California to Arizona in 87.
So he was pulling out of Phoenix as you were pulling in.
Yeah, Dan didn't spend that much time there.
Yeah, he didn't. They didn't.
I go back to visit in November, and I'm like, man, how did I live here? It's hot in November. I'm like, good night. I don't know, and I've thought about going back in the summer just to see, maybe just stop in for a day, or maybe just hang out in the mall all day. Yeah, right. I don't know what. I don't know.
Hostile work environment. I don't know.
Are you guys gonna go on strike, Eric?
Matt, this is definitely no greater words have ever been spoken about Phoenix.
I'm not lying. Our first house that we moved to in Arizona only had a swamp cooler. Oh my gosh, it was awful.
And those don't do well when the water is hot coming out of the faucet.
Where are you at now, Tommy? Where are you at now, Tommy 2.0? It's hot. It's hot. I remember I have a story. My brother, me and him were walking. So Fry's is the Kroger in Arizona. It's called Fry's. And we were walking into a Fry's store, and it was over 120 that day. And my brother was wearing those cheap flip-flops with like the foam bottom. I don't know what that material is on the bottom. It's like a really cheap plastic. And his flip-flops literally started sticking to the asphalt. Like he was walking, it was starting, like if he would have stood still, they would have stuck. So we had to like run. Not that we ran. We had to walk. We had to walk briskly into the store.
You were jogging.
I guarantee you, we didn't run. There was no running involved. Don't be mistaken. But it was a brisk walk into the store to keep his flip-flops from sticking to the ground. Central
Wisconsin. So my wife has some family that lives up in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. But yeah, so another, talking about, the flip-flops melting. So back in 91 was the hottest recorded temperature, I believe, in Phoenix, and they shut down the airport because the runway was starting to, they quote called it melting, but it was getting soft from the heat was so intense.
I remember when I was in junior high, a kid crashed his bicycle and he got knocked out. They called the ambulance and everything. And you know what the worst injury he had was? It was the burns from the ground from laying on the ground too long. Like he literally burned his back laying on the ground too long. Like that was the worst injury. And you didn't have any major injuries at all. Just a little. He had a concussion, but his back, because the way he ended up laying, part of his back was exposed. His shirt came up, and he burned his back on the ground. That was the worst injury he had. It was crazy.
Hey, Jimmy, Dan said your nose doesn't even run.
Hey, I know this is hard to believe. This round guy used to be able to run pretty damn fast. I was actually a decent athlete. So there, Dan. But yeah, I haven't ran in at least 10 years. No, I haven't. I was when I moved here, I could still run. I probably haven't ran in like 6 or when I had all my surgeries. That's when I stopped running. I tried to run. Remember when I went and played softball? I was like, because I used to be able to run, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be quite the athlete, and I had a bunch of surgeries like 3 years ago. And I tried running again. That was awful. I was awful. So my arms are going this.
I'm gonna tell 2 quick stories about when we moved to Arizona back in 2006. So my job moved me out there, and Jimmy flew back to Denver with me so we could load up our U-Haul truck or whatever, and we moved all our stuff to Phoenix. So the following day, because we unloaded our truck that night when we got into Phoenix, and the following day, me and Jimmy are going to go because his brother-in-law is going to move out of their apartment into a house. And I was like, I already got a U-Haul truck. Save you some money. Just throw gas in the tank, and you can use my U-Haul truck. So that morning, and mind you, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's June, middle of June. So it's already 100 degrees. Me and Jimmy get in the U-Haul truck, and we start to drive when we hear a boom, and we're just covered in liquid. And we like literally almost thought we got shot in a drive-by. But what it was is I had left a soda, a Coke in the truck, and it was so hot that when I cranked the air conditioner on, the coldness hit the heat that was on the can exploded, and it literally looked like, if anybody's ever seen Pulp Fiction, when John Travolta shoots the guy in the back seat of the car, that's what the truck looked like, because we had soda everywhere. It was hilarious. The second part of that same story was, so we moved into our house, lived down in Maricopa, Arizona, and I'm at work. A couple days later, my wife calls me upset, and we had moved into a brand new house, never been lived in. And my wife calls me and says, babe, there is something wrong with our water. And I said, yeah, the water coming out of the tap is horrible. Don't drink it. She goes, no, our cold water system's not working.
Cold water?
What the hell do you mean a cold water system? She goes, the cold water's not coming out cold out of the sinks. It's coming out hot. And I was like, yeah, babe, that's the way the water comes out of the faucets here. You can't get cold water out of a tap. And she's like, how am I going to brush my teeth? How am I going to take a shower? And I was like, so talk about
Thrifting Lounge. Thank you for joining Kevin. The Thrifting Lounge is here. That's another good. He does a lot of good interviews too, and he has a lot of live shows with a big panel. And that said, I kind of want to go. Sorry to go off topic, Frank. I know. Just real quick because I saw him and remind me of some guys. Every Friday we're going to be doing open mics, so make sure if you guys want to come on, it'll be on Frank's channel this Friday. I kind of came up with this idea because I see a lot of people do it. I didn't come up with the idea, but it kind of, I wanted to add it to our channel. Is we're going to be doing open mic on Fridays. We can have up to 6 people in here. If you saw last Friday, we had Aaron, the best opera queen, and we had Shane from Rise and Grind Picker with us. So if anybody wants to come in on Friday, we start at 11 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Eastern. We will put a link in the chat. So my point is, Kevin is one of the guys that made me, he does a lot of, big panel discussions and stuff. And it's definitely fun to watch, and you can learn a lot because you have multiple points of view. So yeah, check us out on Friday for that. And again, one of the guys that inspired that idea, Kevin, over at the Thrifting Lounge.
That being said, we also, anytime anybody that wants to join us for a scheduled date for our show, hit us up, Instagram. I'll drop my email again. I ain't scared. Shoot me an email.
Yeah, Kevin, we would love to have you on, man. Some really good information from that guy. He's a busy guy. So let us know when you're available, Kevin. I know you work full time, and you're just. I've seen live panels where he's like, got a call. Hold on, he's just always working. But yeah, we'd love to have you on and pick your brain about YouTube and reselling and all that stuff, and how you manage your you're working from home. Yeah, he's just a busy guy.
So yeah, Thrifting Lounge wants to come on. Bargain Effect wants to come on. Heck yeah, we'd love to have everybody. I know, Jimmy, what's the schedule for this week? We are
tomorrow I have Pokey, I believe it's Pokey World. I think that's how it's pronounced, his show. So this is a young man that we're going to have him on tomorrow. He will be coming on to talk about Pokemon cards and toys. Just like a younger, I want to learn Pokemon cards, and I think it's a really good opportunity for all of us because Pokemon cards, you come across them all the time, and they're always on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. So I just want to get an idea of what I'm looking at. So he'll be on tomorrow, and then we have the two guys from Ecom and Beyond on Thursday. They will be joining us Thursday. We will have Anthony and Nate just having a good time, talking some merch fulfilled and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we want to have as many guests, and if you guys want to come on more than once, again, Friday's open mic. So if you want to come on Friday, just drop in. We will have a link in the chat for anybody to drop in. But if anybody wants to come on Wednesday, we'll email Frank. Frank's email is in the chat. The show will be on his channel on Wednesday. So if you want to come on Wednesday, we'll also reach out to you guys. Definitely, we'd love to have anybody on for sure. All right, I know I'm following you on. I know I have you as a friend on Facebook, Kevin, and I think I'm following you on Instagram. If not, I'll look you up. If you guys want to put if you're on Instagram, put what to look for on Instagram for you guys. Let us make sure we're following you guys.
Yeah. And definitely watch this show tomorrow. You might have a little bit of a small fortune in your in a shoebox in your closet or something there.
Yeah, because there are definitely particular things. I've learned some. Okay, Thrifting Lounge. All right, that'll be easy enough. The Shamrock Pixie. Thank you so much for joining us. I learned a little bit about Pokemon cards, and there's definitely certain things to look for on cards to find out. So it's more like when you're researching them, like you need to know what a reverse holographic is, or a holographic, or a rare, or and all the different things to look for. And I don't know it all, so I'm gonna be picking this kid's brain tomorrow. I call him a kid, this young man's brain. He knows a lot about him. I watched some of his videos, and he does he does pack openings. Another guy that knows a lot about him, if you ever want to ask, is Anthony over at Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's at Poke World. He's gonna be teaching us some stuff. We're going to have fun too, but, I'm going to be picking his brain a lot. And Anthony's another guy over at Pittsburgh. If you have any questions, he knows a lot about Pokemon cards, so he's been doing them for a while too. And I've picked his brain as well. But it's a good opportunity to learn them, guys. And we're going to talk toys too, because I know he has a good toy collection as well. Tommy over at Poke World. Did Jimmy say Disney? I don't know. Did I say Disney?
You said Disney earlier when you said Disney.
I said Disney
or something like that. Hey, I said eBay, so we're both educated over
here. eBay fulfill.
Mercari fulfill.
Right. But yeah, I'll reach out to you, Kevin. Larry, I know Frank's been talking to Larry. Tommy 2.0, I'll reach out to you. Did you Tommy 2.0 put? Did you put? Are you on Tommy? Are you on Instagram? If not, email Frank in the chat. Send him an email. Man, I'm getting. All right, Kevin. I just got your Instagram. I'm gonna check that out when we're done here. I'll hit you back up for sure. Yeah, that guy, busy man. That's all I'll say. I'm like, we're all busy, right? But like, I can't do this. I was doing this part-time, and I was able to build up a nice little nest pool to go full-time. But I can't imagine going back to working and doing this. And maybe knock on wood. Thankful, so thankful I'm able to do this full-time, and my some of the stuff my wife's able to do as far as getting us insurance and stuff. And obviously she works very hard. But yeah, I don't want to do this and work because I stay busy. Like as soon as we're done here, this is like the break of the day. This is the fun part of the day right here. And after this, I'm going to work. Like I gotta go, post office, because my wife, I'm bad, but my wife works right by the distribution center here in Denver. So to save on shipping time, she drops these off for me on her way to work. But I'm gonna be taking pictures and listing and doing some more stuff on social media. I don't know if did I say nest? What? I don't know what I'm talking about. Why you gotta make fun of me, Petey? What happened to the egg? It's Easter. I ate them.
Those are peeps.
Those are peeps. I built up some capital that I was able to allow me to go full time. All right,
I'm gonna try to share a screen real quick because we talked about we're gonna have my brother on the show. Eventually, let me see if this will come up on here. Sorry, folks, we're working to come up. So my brother is going to be on the show soon. We're gonna show some of his sports memorabilia. That gives you a general idea of what we're. So he worked for the Colorado Rockies for 20 plus years. From
let me take my glasses off and I'll be able to see it better.
But he's literally got thousands of autographed baseballs and game used bats, cleats, jerseys. I mean, it's beyond ridiculous, and we're looking forward to having him on the show. He's gonna have a live camera showing off some of his memorabilia and stuff, so that'll be fun. That'll be down the road a little ways, and we'll do that as well. So
let's see if I'm following you right now, Tommy.
Hey, so I know we were on the topic of.
I think we're friends on Facebook, but not on Instagram. I just followed you on Instagram so I can message you through there. You want to follow me back?
We did just sell some adult diapers.
You've been doing good on those for sure. As Darren would say, you probably should have held on to them, but
I know.
But that was one of those things early on. Me and Frank kind of have this unwritten, like stuff that he has more knowledge on. I just kind of watch how he does, and then stuff that I have more knowledge on, he watches what I do, and then we kind of I listed those diapers and they're selling, so now we both start looking at. I'll be like, hey, these toys do good. I listed them and they did good, so now start looking for these toys. So we help each other out in that way, and that's kind of how this whole community is. So he kind of took on the adult diapers and learned. He's kind of learning them, and then he's letting me know what to look for, and we we do a lot of stuff like that. We'll tell you, obviously we use the term BOLO, so we're like, okay, I bought these as a test run and they're selling good, so now we call here's a BOLO for you. These type of adult diapers are BOLO.
Hey Aaron, you were teasing us about the dad jokes earlier. So when I told Jimmy about the adult diapers, he said, "Well, do they sell good?" I said, "Depends."
Hey Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes already. That's crazy.
We can keep going, or if you guys want to slow it down and call it a day, it's up to you guys in the chat. Let us know.
Depends.
Oh, shoot. I had to do it, Aaron. I literally love dad jokes. I don't know why they make me laugh.
Bolo buffets. Dan, you want to join us on a Saturday? We'll do the Bolo buffet show.
Yeah, the Bolo buffets only live once.
You might. Listen,
keep eating all that butter. I'm gonna need a AED right next to my table in case they need to shock me back, But I'll be like, I'm ready for round 2, boys.
Let's do it. We just getting this party started. Any topics you guys want to talk about? You guys want? New and packaged home improvement items? Yeah. I did some of that stuff early on. I sold some shower heads and stuff. And I sold some tiles. Remember I bought those kitchen tiles? Man, that was one of my first.
That mosaic tile, whatever that. Yeah, I remember those.
That was one of my first really good sales. And I remember I remember that really good. There was a couple that was getting a divorce, and they were literally fighting at the sale. It was terrible. And so she was like, "Just sell the tiles." And I was like, "Oh, you." And I bought a bunch of like backsplash tiles. I bought a big I think we were eating dinner with someone. We were when they sold, and I was like, holy! And I made a bunch of money off those tiles. But yeah, I remember the couple was getting a divorce, and they were literally just emptying out their house, and it was something like there was another honeydew he never got to. So you can have them. Yeah. So yeah, home improvement stuff can do good. It definitely can.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say has been? I've sold a lot of. You know what? So like you'll find a construction company or a guy that has having a yard sale that has done construction, and they replace the thermostats in the house with a nicer one, like a Nest one or whatever. But the one that came on with the house is literally like brand new, only was installed once. I find that kind of stuff all the time, guys. And like Honeywell ones, I'll make $20-$30 on a thermostat, or a thermometer, a thermostat, yeah. And matter of fact, I just sold one the other day for 20. I picked it up for $2 each. I spot those, and I sold one the other day. So, it wasn't new, but it was basically new. I was 100% sure there was nothing wrong with it. Like it was literally installed once, taken right back out when the person moved into the house or whatever.
Yeah, I remember one of Erin's videos or shows. She was talking about she had found some. It was a curb alert kind of deal, and she found some. I think it was for cement work, some sort of deals, and she found them. She loaded them into her truck, and I think she flipped them for like $300 or $400. Erin, you could probably, I don't, you remember that video that talked about that?
I don't want your double. Sell that on the local marketplace, though.
Yeah, Facebook Market. I'll do it for you, Dan. Send me the pictures.
I'm not going to ship it. Just sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Shipping won't be high if they come and pick it up, Dan. I don't know what a double-sided see-through fireplace goes for these days, but we could sell it, and you can use the proceeds to take us to the buffet.
Right.
Dinner.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I want to look important.
Huh?
Trying to look important. Somebody's trying to call me, but
right. Hold on a second. No messages. Trying to think of any other. What's some good new in the package home improvement stuff you found?
Me?
Yeah.
So I bought that, and I've talked about it in a couple of my content videos. I was actually at a garage sale and bought a whole tub full of like light switches and dimmer switches and wall plates and those things. I bought the whole lot for like $20. And and I probably made $400 or $500 off of that lot. And I never even heard of the brand. Legrand, I believe was the name or something like that. Legrand. Yeah, my brother found
that new starts at 5,000. Oh snap! That's a couple buffets at least. Uh-oh, Erin, what's going on? Erin's dealing with a bully on eBay.
Uh-oh.
Oh shoot.
Need to send him
Maybe we need to get us a regulator. We need to start paying a regulator on this show. Just step
Regulators! Mount up. Yeah, my brother found this
on eBay.
I talked about it last week. Again, I think probably paid a couple bucks for it, maybe. Sold it for $48. Yeah, actually, when we had Brandon on last Wednesday, I talked about that waterline kit.
Right. I mean,
literally, guys, it didn't look like anything. I mean, it was 25-cent garage sale stuff that sold for almost $50. I mean,
yeah, I always look for new in the packet. My chair's squeaking again. I thought I fixed that. Damn it. So too many
home improvement stuff is going to sell great right now because everybody's got a bunch of honeydews. They got plenty of time to
right.
To
Either that or divorce lawyers. One of the two.
Yeah.
You don't do those honeydews, then it's going to be the divorce lawyer. No, I've I've done pretty good on it. Some of it's long tail, some of it takes a while. But I've sold, like on eBay, for the most part, everything I've ever bought has sold. Now, has everything been a good deal? No, but just about anything will sell. I mean, you guys all know that. Like, I just sold a book that I've had for a year, a guitar lesson book. Just sold that today. I've had that for over a year. I mean, I don't mind waiting. I wait. Like, hey, what's up, Frankie? Frank Jr. in the house. I don't mind waiting. When you have Frank, I think Frank can speak to this. Like when you have as much interview, like Frank's got a ton of inventory. I got like 900 inventory and keeping new inventory coming in. Like I don't care if stuff sits. I'm fine with it. I have the space for it right now. And when I get my basement, I'll have plenty of space for it. I mean, if you guys saw my last video, I showed you my garage. My garage, those shelves are not full. There's still a lot. And I have room in, if you look behind me right there, you can see in my closet, those are my electronics and new toys in my closet because I have a huge closet. That shelf's not full either. So I got plenty of room. And so I don't mind keeping stuff for a long period of time. I don't mind long tail stuff. Now, if it gets to the point where I'm lowering the price and there's no profit, hardly any money to be made, I will take it down. And I'll tell you why. I learned a lesson, and I was able to get it removed, but I sold a shirt for like $4, free shipping. So I literally made nothing on the shirt, and then I got negative feedback on it. So here I am. I literally made nothing on the shirt because it was $4 free shipping. I just wanted to get rid of it. And then I got negative feedback on it. So literally I lost money and I got negative feedback. Thankfully, I was able to get the feedback removed. But that's another thing to consider, guys. Like if you could potentially sell something for really cheap to someone that's just out to get you. Like they don't like the fact that you're listing that thing that low. And they might just buy it for a couple bucks just so they can leave you negative feedback because you lowballed them or whatever. I'm not saying that happens all the time, but it has happened, and I feel like that's what happened to me. It was a North Face shirt, and it was when I was learning. Well, the North Face does good, so at that time I was just learning, and I sold that shirt for $4, and that person, they left me really nasty. I was able to get it removed because of the nastiness of the feedback, But something to consider. It's not, is it really worth it to get negative feedback over something you made $1 off of because you're trying? And again, this was me just trying to get rid of it. It's not something that like I had a bunch of quantity of. Like if you have a bunch of quantity, you can make $1 each. That's fine. But if you're just trying to get it out of your house because you're tired of looking at it or whatever, and you're lowering the price to some ridiculously low price, is it really worth the negative feedback? Something to consider because that I found it right away. I was like, nope. It wasn't worth it. I made 50 cents on the deal and I got negative feedback. It was not worth it at all.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes, sometimes there are bad sales. There is bad business, and it's not worth the risk of, like I said, a $4 or $5 transaction to potentially have a negative feedback for a $5 item. No, I'll hold it. This stuff's already paid for in my room.
Hold on. So I was just reading what Erin said. I know I was talking while she posted that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of confused as to so the person offered her, I'll go back to the original message. So she got a message that her Xbox she is selling for parts, bought it knowing it was broken. And they send me an offer for 80 cents less than I listed it. And they said if you had taken my advice, it wouldn't be broke. I don't understand what.
You told him it was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just be really careful because it sounds like negative feedback waiting to happen. I hate it when people it's like they know what they're doing. Like they know how to extort and without actually saying I'm going to leave you negative feedback. That's so frustrating. I'm sorry you're going through that, Aaron.
I kind of had something not necessarily similar to that, but this is one of my my frustrating moments. At a person, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. So my buyer bought a VHS movie from you. It's a $9 sale. Emails me or messages me on Facebook the other day. Why hasn't this been delivered? I don't, and my response, I'm like, I don't know. Did you track the item? And I said, have you checked the tracking on your eBay? Because I sent the tracking information once it was uploaded when I, blah, blah, blah. So they messaged me back, well, the tracking says it should have been delivered yesterday and I haven't gotten it. Why is that? Now, Frank wants to say, I don't know, Jagwad. I don't work for the post office. Go bleep yourself. That's what I want to say. But you don't.
Yeah.
So I responded with, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for the post office why they haven't delivered your item. If it's not delivered today, this was on Saturday. I said, reach out to them Monday morning, see what's going on. I try to be as professional as possible but that's just the frustrating part. You know what I mean?
So I'll tell you, this is just my advice and it's from experience. So I told you guys I was a mechanic. I was a mechanic for a lot of years. And then I had some things go on and I had to go into customer service. So I took a job answering customer service phone calls. And I struggled big time because I had a mechanic attitude, which is not a bad attitude, but it's like, if you ever worked in a shop, like we talk crap to each other. Like if someone tries, telling you something, like, yeah, go away, dude, get out of here. I got this. Don't worry. So I had that kind of attitude for years. And so I had to learn customer service, and at first it wasn't easy. I was good at it because I knew to be nice. But some of the best advice I got from someone that was really good at customer service was, because we had this one lady in the office, don't be apologizing. Don't apologize to those people, blah, blah. And so I'm not going to ever apologize. I listened to her. Like, I'm not going to apologize. She's right. She was so wrong, guys. Like, if you start off, and I'm not saying personally, like as a person, apologize to that person, maybe a little bit more because it's your business, Aaron, but always just kind of start off. I always start off my responses with an apology, and it's not just, I'm sorry. It's, I'm sorry, and go into what is upsetting them and apologize for, like, I'm sorry that, you sent me a message, you said, but I never received that message. I'm sorry I didn't receive it. I'm not 100%, I'm telling you guys, when I learned that, it changed it for me so much. Because it's amazing what that apology will do to the person on the other end. I'm just saying, and I use it to this day in my eBay business, and it's helped me so much. I know it's not, now, while I'm writing that email, I'm telling them like this guy needs to just go away. Like, I'm as I'm typing this nice stuff, I'm saying customer never sees that, they never hear that, they don't know about it. And I keep it, I let it out that way. I don't keep it all in. I let it out that way. I'll tell my wife how mad I am, but in the message, it's all, I'm sorry that you said you sent me an email, whatever. Customers want to hear that. It's just kind of how it is. And they're more likely to see that you're being sympathetic and work with you. I know it's not the most popular advice, and some people don't want to do that. Some people just get really upset. I'll tell you, it helped me a lot. Like, it helped me deal with it. It was, if you want to call it, mainly for me. It helped me. Like, that's the advice I have, is like, just write a really nice, email or message back to them. Apologize for what is frustrating them, whether you want to or not. Like, maybe you don't agree with it, but it helps to help you. That's my advice.
So yeah, she's saying, the buyer's saying that the Xbox was never broken in the first place. So he's probably just calling her dumb, telling her, oh, you could have sold it as working and made more money, blah, 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 which, yeah, whatever.
Just stick to the facts, and in your messages, stick to the facts, stick to what your posting said. Try not, he's already pissed. Try to just calm him down. I don't know. It doesn't always work. I've had people that it didn't work on. But you're going to get to try to get eBay to help you. And right now it's hard to get eBay to help you, but just stick to the facts. Don't make it personal or emotional. Just stick to the facts and maybe throw an apology in there. I know. Again, I know you don't want to apologize. I wouldn't want to either. I don't want to tell them go find the whatever, but it helps. I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, it's called put on your customer service hat. Like,
Yeah.
It sucks. Aaron, I know how you feel. I hate it. It's such a crappy feeling.
Because I have a theory, or I have a saying. Whoever came up with the term "the customer is always right" never worked in customer service. You know what I mean?
But I think it's not a factual term. Like, yeah, I know what you mean though. Like, I think that term wasn't meant to be like taken factual. Like, in the end, they're gonna win. Like, in the end, eBay's gonna take that person's.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but.
Well, eBay will take their side to a point until they break the rules that eBay doesn't like. When they start threatening you with, feedback extortion or something like that, then it flips on them. And
but
then
if they say they want to return, it's going to happen. Like, eBay's going to let them return it and this and that, and there's going to be nothing to argue.
Yeah, Jimmy, like I told you about, I had a sale where I shipped some GameCubes to a customer back in December, and then in February they messaged me that they never got their games and they want their refund and this and that. I called concierge right away and said, look, first of all, this is over 30 days, so that eliminates any conversation right then and there. But you could see I added my tracking information immediately. He had the tracking information, and yeah, they sided with me right away. They were like, yeah, this guy doesn't have a leg to stand on.
So this guy hasn't even bought that from you, Aaron? He's bullying you and he hasn't even bought it. Psh, block him. My bad. Erase everything I just said.
Yeah.
Rewind. Aaron, block that guy. Tell him, get out of here.
Give him the one finger salute.
Block someone. If you go to your seller hub, somewhere in there, it's one of the actions you can, or just Google it, how to block a buyer. Make sure he don't buy it from you, and then tell him to pound sand.
My little doggy made a cameo appearance. Anybody care to guess what my dog's middle name is? I'll put it in the chat.
Oh yeah.
And it will make sense when you kind of like Sam Manella. Now you say my doggy Barbie's first name, and then this is her middle name.
Barbecue. Shocker. Where's Mama Mia? That's my.
She was in here actually at the same time, but she doesn't like to be picked up. I got a little miniature dachshund. Her legs are literally, folks, like this, a good solid 8 inches long.
Her belly rubs on the ground. she's got a rub mark across her belly from.
And then I got a Doberman Pinscher, who is named ISIS. Not after the terrorist group or terrorist cell.
That was so unfortunate that group became known right after you named her. Like literally 2 months later, like, oh.
Uh-huh. But she's named after Gabrielle Union from, I'll put it in the chat.
I already know. His favorite movie all time, y'all. Bring it on. Never seen it before, but Frank has probably seen it 1,000 times.
I named my daughter Isis because that's her name in that movie. Larry,
thank you, brother. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just telling Larry, see you later, brother. Well, and I think we're gonna get ready to shut it down. We're
2 hours, y'all.
Yep. Hey, everybody, love the love here. You guys are showing us.
Yep.
Probably our most people active in the chat I've had on my channel so far. So I appreciate you guys showing us love. Couple things for tomorrow on Uncle B's show channel tomorrow. We got PokeWorld on as our guest. We're going to talk Pokemon cards, toys, anything in general as usual. Looking forward to that.
Make sure you're ready, Tommy. We're going to be hitting you with a lot of questions, and there's going to be a lot of questions in the chat. Like you said, have some cards ready. Show us some examples, man. I appreciate you.
So everybody, love you all. Thank you for the support. Hit that like button. Hit those sub buttons, hit that bell so you get the notifications, and we will see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Jimmy, close it out. What do you got to say, bud?
That's Frank hit it all. Everybody, thank you so much for joining. We love having you guys join us. hit that chat, give us topics and questions to talk about. We'll have fun with it, and then we'll also try to stay on topic as best we can. We just love to have fun and laugh, and love you guys joining us.
Mile high salute, folks. Thank you for coming by.
Be safe out there, everyone.